The Fallout franchise is one of my personal favorites and has some of the most in-depth storytelling and world building I've ever seen. And after waiting years for Fallout 4 to drop a multiplayer mod, I'm simply tired of waiting, so there's simply only one thing to do now. To Vault 76! When it first released, Fallout 76 had some of the worst reviews Steam had ever seen, with major bugs, game-breaking glitches, just an overall lack of gameplay. But Bethesda was not ready to give up on it quite yet. I wanted to experience this game and everything it had to offer myself, and give you my pros and cons. So after loading into Vault 76 for the first time, you're overwhelmed with new things, gameplay mechanics, and lore. You arrive in Appalachia, a giant open world with way too much going on. The first thing that really put me off about this game is simply how hard it is for a new player to get involved. The quest markers don't really make sense and bug out sometimes. The world itself is pretty large and easy to get lost in, and most quests have a generic go to this place and talk to this person type of feel to it. Not only that, it feels like the quests don't really have a cohesive feel to them. It's hard to explain, but I can't be the only one who genuinely had a hard time following the story to this game. Nevertheless, I pushed through and found myself learning pretty quickly how this game worked, which leads me to one of my favorite things about this game, the camps. Camps are basically your home base that you can customize heavily. You can find plants for unique items to place in your camp, as well as buy items from the Atomic Shop. I found myself spending hours trying to make an amazing base and was still not satisfied. I just want to add more and make it perfect. Once your base is done, you can actually share it with all the other players in the world to come and shop at your vending machine, which is honestly cool as fuck. The entire camp system as a whole is a massive win for this game and adds a really unique feeling I didn't know I needed. Now, let's talk weapons. Most, if not all, weapons in this game have a condition. Personally, I can't stand this feature. Having to repair my gun or armor after every encounter is exhausting. Like, look, I get it. Guns damage over time and you need to fix them. That makes sense. But having the random anxiety of, oh fuck, is my gun gonna break, is the worst when you're fighting for your life in the wasteland. It's like when your check engine light comes on in your car and you just sit there staring at it like, I should do something about that. But honestly, the weapons in this game are also a major pro as well. There's a ton of weapons in this game, like a flaming chainsaw, giant laser cannons, small laser cannons, whatever this thing is, a fucking nuke launcher, and so much more. Not only that, this game also introduces perk cards, which allow you to specifically make builds for certain weapons. Personally, I hate this part of the game. As a newer player, 99% of the stuff makes no sense to me. I found myself spending hours on hours watching YouTube videos of meta builds and best perk cards. Like, do I want to be a stealth commando running around with my fixer? Or do I want to be a bloodied heavy gunner spreading freedom upon Appalachia? If you were confused with anything I just said, me too. Me fucking too. Regardless though, the weapons in this game are pretty cool and add a large variety of playstyle in the game, so I really can't complain. At this point in the game, I was decently set up and I felt like I had learned a good chunk of the game. It was time to try public events. These are events that pop up every 20 minutes or so in your world, and they give you pretty good rewards. You and a bunch of people from your world are given some tasks to complete, and if done correctly, you get loot. It's always a good break to distract you from whatever you were doing in the game at the time, and the rewards really do make it feel worth doing. This leads perfectly into one of the main systems in this game I'm not the biggest fan of: legendary modules and gold bullion. Legendary modules can be acquired from this dude. You're allowed to sell 500 gold a day of legendary items to him in exchange for all of this. And to be fair, most people only buy the modules because it allows you to add your own custom legendary effects onto your guns and armor. That in itself is a cool system, but the limiting players to a certain amount a day is kind of whack. Trust me, I totally get why there is a limit. I really do, but it doesn't make it suck any less. It's not like a game-breaking thing, it's again just one of those things that annoy me. Same with gold bullion. You can get some gold by exchanging treasury notes at this machine, but again, you have a daily limit of 40 a day. I get it. You want to make it so people can't speedrun the game in one day and get the best stuff. That makes sense. But dude, look at these prices for some of these armor sets and weapon plans. I have to devote my entire free time, life savings, and firstborn child to maybe have enough gold to buy one piece of armor. but it's fine. It's really not that bad. Now that we have covered most of the meat of the game, it's time to talk about probably the most important and crucial thing about this game, the community. The players and people you meet in this game are like no other. The Fallout 76 community is one of the most tight-knit and helpful communities I've ever seen. Throughout my entire journey, I kept meeting more and more cool people who were willing to give me a helping hand. Whether it was a cool new weapon and some ammo, or game knowledge to help me learn how to do something I wanted to do. Everyone was just so kind and friendly and so quick and willing to help a new player out. I've never really experienced that in a game, and it really is the main cherry on top to a game I really find myself enjoying. From the vast open world to the amazing events, people, and weapons, Fallout 76 truly is an experience like no other, and I hope to see you out there roaming Appalachia. Thanks for watching.